Monica Kerber, Northwestern Mutual. For the last 4 years, we've been attending the Service Academy Conference. You know that we've been able to track at least 25, but we also know that once we find the talent and then deploy them to the local offices, there's some that we don't know that they got there. But nationally, we have thousands and thousands of advisors. Some of our most top performing advisors come from the military. You know, a good career conference or a career fair should be a part of any candidate's experience because it gives them the opportunity to meet eyeball to eyeball with future employers. It gives the employers to see them not just on a piece of paper, but how they present the total package, and it gives them a chance to really practice some of their interview skills right in the moment. Our expectations are that they're going to bring the best that they've got because we're going to bring our A-team as well, that they're prepared, they look professional, that they have their resume, and that they've done at least a little bit of research to know what it is that they want to ask us. We know what we're looking for. We want to make sure that that's the right fit for them. It allows for a more complete and impactful conversation. The time that we have is very targeted at a career conference, especially the more attendees that we have. And so it's their opportunity to really dive in and get the questions that are most important to them answered, and it gives us a chance to really experience how prepared they are. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not a good candidate. It just means that maybe they need to take a little bit of time the next time before they follow up with the employer to really learn enough about what it is that we do to formulate, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but to formulate 3 or 4 really smart questions. It'll better serve them long term. You know, LinkedIn's an amazing tool. It's the virtual networking of the world. It's the ultimate, what we used to call the networking cocktail party, but it's online now. You can see anyone, you can see their experience, who they're connected to, what they've done, and so it gives you instantly, if you do some research on people, something to talk about right away. And so it's a great icebreaker in that regard. It's also a great tool for the follow-up piece. So being able to message someone, email them in a platform that is professional, I think is a great way to leverage the tool. Well, Google, and then find the company website, and then look at what others are saying about it from reputable sites, and then formulate again 1 or 2 really smart questions that either spin off from your research that you can't quite glean from the website, and share that or ask those questions with the future employer. You know, I want to see confidence, I want to see enthusiasm. That comes with their eyes lit up and a smile on their face. I want a great handshake, and I want them to tell me their first and last name and really why they're there and what they're looking for. And that really is the first component to us being able to dive into a great conversation. You know, 5 to 7 minutes, and then typically we're going to figure out if this is something that we should move forward in a more in-depth conversation later in a formal interview, or if it's, professionally we just need to part ways. But 5 to 7 minutes is typically ideal. We gravitate to all of the officer candidates because what we're really looking for are the soft skills that they're naturally going to bring. We're going to train them and teach them everything else about the financial services industry. What they're going to bring is discipline and the ability to work hard, to communicate exceptionally well. Most of the time they're all natural leaders, and so those are the components that we're looking for. I would love it if they would ask more personal questions that really matter to a great career fit, like how long we've been there, what we enjoy most about the company, what the culture is like. Those are really important questions when someone's in a career transition, especially when they're officers leaving the military, because they're not only in a career transition, they're also in a lifestyle transition. And those are such important elements of helping them make a good decision. And so I would encourage them to ask those questions early and often. No, no. I mean, we know, I've been doing this for so long, I know candidates are nervous. So those things are not a distraction or a deterrent. But I hope that they've practiced a little bit, you know, that those first five seconds, so that they feel confident and strong, and then we'll do all the rest. You know, if they're feeling like they're not quite sure what to ask, we're great at asking questions, so we'll help them to be comfortable and hopefully confident. Always, our officers always look so nice. They're always in suits and they're always so polished, and part of that is just their military background. But dressing professionally is always important in the very beginning. Once you start to engage with a company and go for a couple of on-site interviews, you'll get a sense of what their dress code or culture looks like, and then you can either dress up or down accordingly. But in the very beginning, I would always encourage, you know, A+, bring your best. I think being able to get connected to what it is that they want long-term, the successes and selected achievements that they've had in their military career, and finding a way to talk about those skills that are then transferable. A candidate that understands that and can articulate that to a future employer sets themselves apart heads and shoulders for sure. Well, their name. for sure. Sometimes not everyone has name tags, so looking for the name. I'm also looking for where they're living, not only now, but then also, does that mean that's where they want to live in the future? So when we're recruiting at a national level and have offices all over the country, we want to make sure, again, in that short amount of time that we have together, that we're narrowing that in. And then I'm looking at rank, I'm looking at the leadership components, I'm looking at where they went to school and what they studied. And then asking them just to bring to life the work that they've done, and more importantly, what they want to do next. I know they've been successful in the work that they've done. Now I want to know what's next for them in the next chapter. No, never. Okay. In fact, when they give me 2 pages, we've had to start carrying around a stapler, ship out a stapler with us so we could staple them together. But no, we really just want 1 page. We know you have 100 of accomplishments, highlight the most important ones. Again, tailor it to the companies that you're looking for. That's what's most relevant for us. Well, first of all, it's the officer component. The fact that they've attended an academy and they're an academy grad. We know that they're hardworking, they're disciplined, they're smart. And again, that they've had leadership exposure and experience. And that, again, is such a great combination, really, for any opportunity at any company. I don't like it. There's so much going on. Like, don't make it complicated. You know, don't have your beverage and a bag of swag and your binder and your papers all over. You know, have your resumes ready so that you can hand the resume and shake hands and have an on-point conversation. Email is great. Send an email, thank the employer or the recruiter for their time, let them know why you're interested and what the next steps are. If it wasn't clear to you as a candidate what the next step is, ask for it, and do it within 24 to 48 hours. You can also reach out via LinkedIn. I get a lot of LinkedIn requests when I leave a conference, and that's always a way for me to remember you. When you think about an event where we've seen thousands of people and shook a bunch of hands, we can't sometimes place from paper the face, but if you're on LinkedIn and you connect with me, I'm going to remember you. Make sure, again, just make sure that we have their contact information. I know you've submitted your resume, you've printed your resume, you've given us your resume, but sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. And so making sure that we have that contact information, and again, really your intent. Think of it as like a letter of intent based on what you learned in that short period of time when you engage with the recruiter. What are you excited about? And asking for those next steps. You know, the only thing I want to share to all of the candidates is that they have a very unique skill set, and a lot of times when I'm engaging with them, I realize that they're not quite sure how those skills transfer into a new career opportunity, and I just want to encourage them to say, you've got what it takes. Get connected to what those great skills are and learn how to articulate that with clarity and confidence. And also know that you've spent your career in a very noble opportunity, and so you want to make sure that the next step that you take in this chapter is something that's going to allow you to continue your career with a purpose. So learn about the culture, learn about the platform and the people, and make sure that's in strong alignment for you.